Hey everyone, it's Kelly, the Frugal Fun Mum. Welcome to the channel and today's video where by request I'm sharing with you how we're going to make this delicious and creamy risoni. My son just had a pasta dish, as you see on the top right hand corner there, so you'll see that cooking in a minute. So let's start with some ingredients. You're going to need about 250 grams of pre-cooked and shredded chicken. You can chop it up even more if you want, but it will break up in the pan when you cook it. Some mushrooms, a cup of white wine, some frozen corn, your Risonni pasta of course. You'll need about 200 mils of cream, some vegetable stock, and I just cooked some garlic bread on the side with tonight's meal. You're also going to need, well, I use this garlic butter from Woolworths and I chop it into thirds. You can use normal butter and garlic if you want, but I just buy this because it's easier and then it's all done. So I chop it into thirds and then that way it's portioned out. I start by cooking the risoni. Each pack is about 500 grams and I cook about half of it, so 250 grams. And I just pre-cook it to be al dente. It's in there for less than sort of 5 minutes and then I finish it off in the pan. So I start with putting in a cube of the butter to start melting, and I don't let it sit for too long, otherwise it will start to burn with little bits of garlic. And I'll add in there the 1 cup of white wine. You just let this cook for about a minute or so, just so the alcohol burns off. The white wine gives it a really nice flavor. If you're not a fan of white wine, you can just throw in a cup of water instead. I put in a teaspoon of this vegetable stock. It just helps give it a little bit more flavor, and I sprinkle that into the pan. And then I do add an extra cup of water because you do need a fair bit of liquid in this. Once the pasta comes back in, it's going to soak it all up. So remember, if you don't want the white wine, I'd add an extra cup of water because you're going to need that much liquid. I get the can of mushrooms and I just drain them off, and then I chop them in half because it's easier and it's also cheaper to do this yourself. You can use fresh mushrooms, absolutely. Just chop them all up and throw them in. We just use the can because they're super cute and little. I'm putting the garlic bread in. It only needs 10 minutes to cook, so I put that in while I'm doing everything else. So I've cooked the pasta for about 6 minutes, so it's al dente, or to the tooth as they say, so it still needs a little bit more cooking. So I then put it in the liquid stock that we have here in the pan and you just stir it around. It does take a good sort of 5 minutes of stirring and you'll start seeing that it starts getting a little bit thicker and the liquid actually starts dissolving. I threw in the mushrooms, I mix all that around, and then I pour in the corn. It's about half a cup of corn kernels. This is all I had left in the pack, so I just tipped the whole lot in there. And then I add in the chicken. I didn't cut this up too much because with my spoon and stirring it around, it will break it all up anyway. And so then that means everyone gets some chicken. There's not big chunks of it. So it's like just really little bits through the whole dish. I add in the cream next. It's about 200 mils. This is what I had left over in the fridge, so I've just used it. It is a thicker cream, but with the consistency of the stock still in there and the heat from the pasta, it will spread out pretty easily once you stir it all through. I also add in there 1 egg right at the end. It just helps to sort of combine it all. I turn off the heat right before I add this in. I crack it in and I mix it all around for another 30 seconds or so. I divide it up into the bowls and it makes approximately 4 servings each. Bon appetit. Okay, let's go through the costings and I'll just talk a little bit more about some of the things. So chicken I can get pretty cheap at like $7.99 a kilo, so that's why my cost is so low. The white wine I just get from Dan Murphy's and it's about $4 a bottle. Mushrooms are from Coles, same with the Rizzoni. The corn is frozen from Coles, so the half a cup, so it's just part of whatever I've bought. The cream I get is just $2 at Coles, but I often buy it on a clearance, so it works out cheaper again. The stock powder is usually in my pantry, but I've just allocated 5 cents for it. And the garlic butter, I buy it on sale from Woolworths when it's $2.50. It's normally $3. So for a third of the block, it's the 83 cents. And we add an egg as well. So I've just worked that out. Our carton is about $3.30. So 1 egg is that. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. Let me know if you cook this. It is our family's favorite. And subscribe because we would love to have you as part of our Frugal Fun family. And as always, I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.